Thank you.
All right, well, Scotland could upend the entire alcohol industry, setting a floor right now for alcoholic beverages, and that has some skittish that this is going to reverberate essentially worldwide. Jeff Locke on what that could mean for you. Jeff.
And in some ways, Neil, this is already reverberating. You know, this has been afoot in Scotland. A lot of people have not followed it, but for 5 years, the Scottish Parliament actually passed this measure 5 years ago, and it's been banging around in the courts. Essentially, it sets a minimum price for liquor because the feeling is that poor people are just drinking too much, and it's a real problem. So minimum pricing now means, and you know, to put this in some perspective, we've got some numbers. Hard cider is a big one there that folks that don't have a lot of money tend to drink. A 1 liter bottle of Crofters hard cider was $2.70. It's going to go up to $6.58. That's a 144% increase. Scotch, this is, of course, Scotland. Famous grouse Scotch. I know that's not the kind that you would drink. No, Macallan's 18-year-old. It's the cheap Scotch. 21.05 is what it was. It goes up to 26.31. That's a 25% increase. This is something that has been banging around not only in Scotland, but there's a move afoot in Wales to do the same sort of thing. Parts of Canada have already adopted this. Estonia is also looking at passing a measure that would put a minimum floor so that there's no real cheap alcohol out there. And this, of course, has had some negative effect on the liquor companies around the world. You take a look at the numbers today, they're down with the rest of the market, but they have been fighting this. But this is kind of the last thing for them, their last opportunity to try and head this off, is because this ruling came in the UK Supreme Court, which has now allowed this, and everybody's going to have to go along with that. And as you point out, there is some thought, whether it's concern or happiness, that this could spread to other parts of the country, perhaps even here, where we tried to do something similar, not quite. It was a little more harsh. Prohibition is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, you were reading my mind. I'm also
jacking up the price could work too.
Yeah, it had the desired effect. We did the same with the tobacco industry, separately taxing the heck out of cigarettes to sort of limit use of cigarettes, and it did the trick, or at least cigarette consumption is way down from what it was. Is that kind of the goal here, to price it out of reach for a lot of folks?
Yeah, price out of reach for those who perhaps are most caught up in a bad cycle. Obviously, if you have money, you can afford to pay whatever. But if you don't, I think that's the aim, is those who are perhaps most vulnerable to try and jack the price up on them. But of course, some people would argue, well, they're just going to find another way to do it and maybe eat even less.
That's crazy right there. All right. Thank you, Jeff, very much.